Hello, monsters about here, and welcome back to Total War Warhammer 2 Mortal Empires and part 6, I think. I think it's part, I'm going to say 6. 6? 6, I think it's 6. It's part 6 of my Settra campaign. Oh, got some hot chocolate. The Cathay trailer has been revealed. It's a great time to be alive, which is ironic, of course, because Settra isn't. Anywho, so... Exactly. We're recruiting some Tomb Guard over here. Tomb Guard. Grave Guard? It's Grave Guard over there, isn't it? Tomb Guard here. Grave Guard. Oh, yeah, good. Okay, so, yeah, the reason I'm doing it in that army rather than Settra's army. Settra's army is already quite scary, and this army needed a little bit more beefing up. We are going to give the Tomb Guard over to Settra to replace these units that he has, and maybe switch around his army. Basically, Settra is going to be our A team. But ideally, we're going to have a few more sort of options available to us. Now, I would like more Tomb Guards. So we could always just beef up the crypt barracks here. We've got, I mean, our money is actually pretty good, isn't it? So we could actually do that. There's no harm in doing that. Let's go for it. Okay, good. So we beat up Arkhan. He got his head kicked in, didn't he? He had a rough old time. And now we're going to go and deal with the dwarves because, hello, they're in my way. I could peace out with them, but they've got stuff that I want. Oh, maybe. But, you know, the other option is the Rakaf dynasty. Now, I could maybe trade with these guys. Non-aggression pact, military access, trade agreement. So that would give us, I mean, it's a little bit of money, but more importantly, it would give us the dies, wouldn't it? It would give us the dies. Now, I could kill them. I do now. Interesting. So, I do need the Black Tower of Arkhan, but it can be military allies. So as long as we can make them military allies, that wouldn't necessarily be a problem. We could always, you know, confederate them later. Could we? Oh, no, we can't confederate them. I can ask them to become my vassal. I might have to kill him. I think they might have to die. I think that's just, you know, just gonna have to have. Hello, orcs. Okay, we got a peace treaty, haven't we? So I'm just gonna leave that at that. We're not have to worry about them for the moment, anyway. Okay. Otherwise, things are looking pretty good. You know, we've got a nice secure little location here. We've got the coastline. The Crusader Kingdoms have been defeated. We've got 3 stacks of reasonably good troops. The Tomb Kings are very much one of those factions where once you kind of get... It starts off really tough, but once you get the ball rolling, it's a lot easier. When you start getting a little bit of money, you can build the buildings you need. It's pretty good. Okay, so we could get more canopic jars, or I could dig elsewhere. I'm going to dig elsewhere because I want my money. Oh, the followers of Nagash. Do we want Skeletor? You know what? I'll accept them, but I won't necessarily recruit him. Because, I mean, for one, I think most of his abilities buff his... Because normally you can't confederate Arkhan. It's just because I've got the mod. So, I don't know if I want Skeletor plotting against me. May not be the best option. So it's being King Larry down here, and we're going to go and hit the dwarves and give them a good old-fashioned bopping. Let's get the mobility there, and once Khalida is ready... Oh, Thyrus! I gave Thyrus a horsey, and we're going to go evasion. Let's go with that. You'll be ready in a couple of turns, I think. I could always just give you the spear things, because you'll be ready next turn then. That's better, isn't it? We'll go with that. Right, we should be able to hit you. The Prince, formerly known as Prince, has failed me. So, we're going to... Now, obviously, dealing with dwarves is going to be a lot harder than dealing with Bretonnians. So, there's that. Oh, you know what? A jar a turn. Keep the doctor away, won't it? Okay, let's upgrade Khemri to a tomb city, because then we get 2 more building slots. We can also get things like Ushabti with bows. We can get the Necropolis Knights. We could also think about getting things like the Scorpion Nest, and oh yes, the Bone Giants. Oh, I love me a Bone Giant. Oh, it's exciting, isn't it? It's exciting. We can make the Armour of the Ages now, which is going to use... I mean, it uses lots of jars, but it's pretty good. You know, armour, melee defense, physical resistance, and you have glittering scales. So you're going to have Armour of the Ages. You don't actually have a weapon yet. And then we can give Skeletron Prime the glittering scales. Khalida can have the Armour of Silvered Steel, because she doesn't have anything else. And unfortunately, that means King Larry doesn't have anything, but that's just unlife, I guess. Eternal Servitude. Lich Priest and Mortuary Cult have left the Necropoli in search of servants to aid them in their holy work. The incantations of preservation must be maintained and furthered. However, not everyone is a suitable candidate for such work. Who can we spare? So we can reduce our jars, but get more Winds of Magic, or just a few bones. And I think we'll just do that, because I want to keep my jars. Keep my jars. Now, I do have the Crown of Nehekara. Should we go and do that? What's the enemy force there? Does that look tough? I think it looks fine. I reckon we can take them. It says Valiant. Oh, they do have hell cannons, which is problematic. But that's the only slightly problematic thing, to be honest. The rest of this, well, you know, if they get into melee combat, they will mince me. But we've got some cavalry, so we can take out the hell cannons. And we've got the Ushabti, we've got the Sepulchral Stalkers. I'm feeling good. Plus, we've got a War Kitty now. I'm feeling good about this.
Today, we dispatch these faithless barbarians, these petty thieves, in tribute to Jaff, the god of war and death. He will feast as the jackal dies and grow fat on their souls. For who dares stand before Settra in defiance of his will? I am the King of Kings, the Imperishable, and I will see my crown returned.
Well, it's a little bit chilly, but Settra is dead set on getting it because he's a skeleton. On getting his hat back. His lovely hats. Now, we can see a couple of units at the moment. We can see these guys down here. And we can see a couple of guys in the trees. We can't see these guys or the hell cannons. Now, interestingly, the hell cannons are actually holding... Well, I guess they're moving up. But they're holding fire for the moment. But they're on this little bluff over here, which is going to give them a little time to get into the position. My cavalry's already sort of flanking around here. I'm thinking there might be something in these trees, so that's why I'm bringing the cavalry around. I'm kind of ignoring these trees, thinking it'll probably be fine. Spoilers, it won't be. But that's, you know, that's my prerogative. So the hell cannons are holding fire. Maybe they're just moving around because they can see the skeletons. Who knows? Anyway, elsewhere we've got this sort of like large blob hiding in the trees. Back here. Now, these monstrous units and the enemy general are going to be an absolute bastard. In fact, this entire battle was not particularly difficult, but just kind of annoying. So we're going to advance up. We don't spot... They're still hidden. Still hidden in the trees. We didn't spot them. So moving up, we can see these guys. No, we can't. They're hidden as well. Really? I thought I could see them, but I can't. They're hidden. They've got like a special ability. Hang on. Come here. Unspottable. Huh. There we go. That's why I couldn't see, and they are bloody unspottable. That's bullshit. Anyway. So, yeah, okay, here we go. They are now attacking my flank. coming out of the trees. Fortunately, I do have the Sepulchral Stalkers here, so we can instantly react to that, moving them in to engage in the trees. It's going to hold those Marauders at bay, backing up the Nehekaran warriors. We've got the Khemri Guard also moving in. In comes Skeletron Prime and Settra to join against this flanking attack. Meanwhile, the Hell Cannons have opened fire, but our cavalry... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That looks like it's going to sting. Oh. Ow. Nasty. Fortunately, the cavalry have quickly knocked those cannons out of operation. Those things won't be getting off any more shots, which is just as well, because they've basically deleted a unit. Meanwhile, in the trees, the Marauder attack is not going well. With Settra here and some Ushabti and the Sepulchral Stalkers, the Marauders are massively outclassed, terrified and fleeing. We're not going to chase them though, because that would be... We're chasing them into the trees. Potential for more ambushes there, because I don't know where anyone else is. So we're going to pull our units back, because if they do decide to come back, we can just deal with them then. Some Marauder warriors getting dealt with by the Ushabti. We have some Nehekaran horsemen coming in from the rear. Ooh, lovely little charge there. Some of them getting ping-ponged around. Little units. Yep, there we go. The horsemen just tearing through them, no problem. Some of the Marauders are coming back. The Sepulchral Stalkers, though, of course, have a ranged attack, so they're going to be spitting poison. And melting them. Khemri Guards chase them off. There we go. They ain't well, if they do come back, won't be a problem. So we've dealt with the initial wave. So the Hell Cannon's been dealt with. The attack on the flank has been blunted. And we now have to push on, because we can see some of these guys. I think they're deliberately left spottable, so you can spot them. Although it says they're unspottable, but I definitely could see them. So there's definitely some hiding in the trees over here that we could see. So I'm heading in that direction. I know they're sort of there. Most of these units are shattered now, but we're going to just push forward, deal with them if they do actually manage to reach us. The Casket of Souls has been doing some good damage. 45 kills. It's not. I mean, you know, there wasn't a huge. There's not really big blocks of infantry for them to shoot at, which is kind of what you want. With 1004 missile damage, you know, they do quite a lot of damage. We have some Marauder Horse Masters and some Chaos Knights waiting at the edge of the forest there. We're going to move our cavalry around to the flank again, just in case they are needed. The Marauders coming out of those trees. The Khemri Guard, though, they are anti-infantry. They've got very good melee attack and melee defense and reasonable armor. The Marauders, I mean, they've got fairly good stats, but they don't have a lot of armor, which means the Khemri Guards will make very, very short work of them. There we go. That did not take very long. They got torn to pieces. Right, we're now pushing forward yet again. Because, you know, I'm just expecting ambushes at every turn now. So we've got the Sepulchral Stalkers at the front. Now, of course, these guys do have charge defense versus large. Which means I negate the bonus of any large attacker when bracing. So I've got them in the front. And we can see these Chaos Knights coming out. So I'm moving the Stalkers back to sort of like link up with our front line and defend ourselves. The nice thing is they can also do missile attacks, which means I think the AI thinks they're like missile units. And so goes a little bit crazy and decides to charge them, which of course is a terrible idea because they're anti-large and have charge defense. So yeah, this does not go very well for the Chaos Knights. On the flank, these Marauder Horse... We don't really have any ranged units, so the Marauder Horse Masters are getting slowed. And then we're going to send Settra to catch up with them and jump up and down on them for a bit. Hope we finish them off. We do have some Chaos Knights coming in from this direction as well. The Khemri Guard not really particularly good at receiving a charge. I mean, they held. They held. That was fine. Settra nomming on some Marauder Horse Masters. They're having a terrible time, but he's getting some javelins stuck in him, which of course is not very kingly. And over here, the Chaos Knights tried again to charge the Sepulchral Stalkers, and it worked out about as well as the first time. Stalkers doing some excellent damage. Again, I mean, you see their melee attack's not great, but they do have 18 bonus versus large, which is quite potent. And of course, if you have a Necrotech nearby, they will get the buff. Just going to make them even more killy. Settra arriving in a blast of lights. Those Horse Masters are going to be a pain because I don't really have anything to deal with them. So I'm just going to have to sort of, you know, live with it. They'll run out of, you know, they'll get tired. They'll chuck all their javelins at me. We do have some poison attacks we can chuck their way, but I'm running low on them. See, they're just dropping dead of poison. Ugh. Chucking some javelins in return. But we don't have much poison left. In fact, I think that's almost it. Maybe one or two. I mean, it's taking them out, though, isn't it? It's taking them out. We took a bit of damage there, but not too bad. And they're almost dealt with. Thankfully, they've only got one unit. Chaos Knight's broken there. Chaos Knight's mostly broken here. There's only 7 of them left. They just seem to be rolling around, causing forest fires. Okay, we've now spotted Marauders coming out of the trees. I'm hoping this is like their last attack. Chaos Knights coming in on the flank yet again. Ushabti blunting the charge. And then Settra and the Ushabti finish them off. And we can have a look at the slicey dicey doggos. They've got 52 attack because of Frenzy and being near to the Necrotect, which is going to make them very, very killy. So they're very, very killy doggo boys. We've got Marauders coming in on the flank. We're just going to charge them with everything we got, because I'm hoping that they don't have... I've kind of forgotten what the army was comprised of, so I've forgotten they've got 2 units of trolls, a giant, and their general. So I'm hoping this is kind of like the last wave. Not because, you know, I'm worried about losing the battle, but mostly just because it's gone on for a while, and I'm like, it's probably over soon, right? Right! As you can see from the balance of power, it's being a dick. So we're going to charge the rear of these Chaos Marauders with our cavalry. This is going to be pretty devastating. Marauders get sent flying, and they pretty much instantly break. These guys, yeah, there we go. They're now wavering. We've crushed the Marauders in double short time. Now, this battle goes on for about another 10 minutes because I can't see these fuckers over here. So I spend the next 10 minutes searching for them because I don't want to come to play. And it's like I wipe out literally everything else. They have like 34, and this balance of power hasn't moved. And I spend ages searching the trees over here, over here, over here, and it's only the last I come right out. I'm searching over here. I can't find anything. It's finally a unit accidentally like passes by here, and finally I spot the fuckers, and then jump them with everywhere. It just takes ages, and ugh, that's not an ambush. That's hide and seek. Anyway, I won't make you watch that bit because it was just a bore, just annoying. That battle wasn't difficult, but it was incredibly irritating. Take the extra replenishment. But we have got our hat back, so that's nice. It's going to give us... is that armour? Or a... Oh no, it's like a thingy. It's going to give physical resistance, armour, and also a nice little buff there for everyone around us. Lovely. Very nice. Okay, we'll heal in one turn, which is fine. I'm going to... Yeah, we're not going to get that, are we? The speed and charge bonus is fine. I kind of want to get a Chariot of the God, and then I can just flip between them. Because, I mean, look at that. Is that not Pimp My Ride worthy? I don't know what's better, whether it's the horsey... Not the horsey. The kitty. The kitty or the other one. But fuck it. I'm going to try them both. See what I like better. That's how I roll.
High Queen Khalida.
How high? I'm talking like... Dude, have you got the munchies that high? What are we talking about? Okay, you come down here. You'll heal up next turn, which is fine. And you can come down here and start harassing. And I'm going to save my pennies, I think, because we might have some fun things to build here, including like getting some of the Necropolis. How many Necropolis Knights does that give us? 1? Ugh. What can you do with 1? What can you do with 1, eh? Right, we're going to attack the dwarves from both ends. That's right, they're going to be a little dwarf sandwich. And they're the meats. Good assault. Don't know what it did. But good assault. Good attempt. Nice work. Like your work, Prince, formerly.
Keep your head bowed. Do not look upon my bandaged majesty.
If they bow their head, they won't be able to see your bandage. Oh, you're declaring war. Okay, well, I'll be honest. I wasn't really expecting that, but it does solve a problem for me. The Brayherds come where? Over there. Okay, that's not a problem for me. Need to stab some guy over there, but I'm too far away, so I'm not going to bother. Okay.
Imperishable.
So.
Begone. King of kings.
So.
What of the heat?
I'm... What's Khalida's out? Right. Khalida, what's your ambush success chance? 60. Settra's is 40.
High Queen.
So, I'm going to... In fact, what I'm going to do...
Does not serve.
So better... yeah, 60, 60, 60. Okay, you just come down here.
Begin, animals.
You come down here. We will do a little ambush.
Settra the Imperishable.
And we will see if we can lure him in. Meanwhile, we're going to get more Ushabti. Because I love those boys. And we're going to go and hit old King Larry. I'm going to... I'll put the banner on. Does it give you... Because, right, so it reduces magical damage. We don't have anyone with magical damage, though, do we? So it doesn't really matter. So I'm going to put it on you, because... No. Sure. So start off by pecking the Grudge Thrower crew to pieces. Now, I have made a tactical error here. And it's mostly based around these bastards. Ironbreakers. Because I have nothing in my army that can deal with Ironbreakers. And it's not even like a case of, oh, well, it'll be difficult to deal with. Like, no, 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 no. I literally have nothing in my army that can kill these fuckers. Because my Tomb Guards, they'll tank them for a bit, but the Ironbreakers will wear them down. Because the Ironbreakers won't die. But my Tomb Guard will. Anyway, so we're going to crash into the doors. Now, pretty much everything, like Longbeards, you know, tough but fine. The miners, actually pretty easy to deal with. I send by my characters to attack their characters. That's a fucking mistake, because they've got two Thanes and a general, and dwarf characters are a nightmare to deal with. Dwarves are just very tanky. It's their thing, and I've attacked them with a fairly tanky army in its own right. Unfortunately, I'm trying to beat them at their own game, and it's not going to work. So we are sort of like taking down the Quarrelers. That's too... But you can see the Ironbreakers here. You can see how little damage they're taking. And you can see how that you know they're winning this engagement, and they're winning it pretty soundly. And they've got 3 units of Ironbreakers. It's going to be a problem. Now they've already killed Kevin MacLeod. He's seen his last grand design. Keith Richards is in danger. And we've got 3 enemy characters just kicking the shit out of us. I'm going to try and concentrate missile fire on them to bring them down. Spoilers, it won't work. I think I'm trying to... What? I'm trying to take down the Thane? Yeah, I'm trying... Because I can see the enemy general. I bring in the Ushabti to try and help out, but again, their melee attack's just so low, they're not going to hit them. So I'm going to bring my characters over here to sort of like help out this flank. I mean, this flank is holding, but it's just doing nothing in return. You can see those Ironbreakers, you know, they've killed 70, and they're barely scratched. Fucking nothing. We're catching some of the Quarrelers, that's fine, dealing with them. Our archers are starting to run low on ammunition. So that's a bit of a problem. So yeah, it's kind of spoilers, but I'm going to lose this battle because Ironbreaker's literally impossible for me to kill. I am going to need some artillery or something. Artillery, you know, or maybe a war kitty would do it. A war kitty would probably do it. Basically, anything that can do a lot of damage armor piercing wise should be fine. I don't have that here. My archers will just, you know, bounce off them. As you can see, numbers-wise, it's not looking great. We've managed to kill a lot of the dwarves that aren't the Ironbreakers, so that's good. You can just see the Ironbreakers. You can see the Ironbreakers up. Right, the rest of the dwarf army, actually, you know, we're pushing them back. We're dealing with them, no problem. Just over here, it's just... There's just nothing. It's like they're just hacking their way through us, and there's nothing. They're even fighting like the halbards. Those guys are armor piercing, but they've only got 25 melee attack. They can't hit them. The Ironbreakers have got 70 melee defense. Imagine someone with a weapon skill of 2 trying to hit someone with a weapon skill of 6. That's what's happening here. It's just it's not work. They look like a 6 to hit, and it's just not working. We're bringing the Tomb Guard from the rear for all the good that's going to do. It's basically going to keep them busy for a little while. We are now trying to take out the characters. We're running out of ammunition. We've managed to take out some Longbeards before they reached us. A little bit of crossfire there. At least they're dead. I suppose in hindsight, I probably could have dealt with the Ironbreakers if I'd shot them in the back. But I was thinking suspicion I probably didn't have enough ammunition. So... yes. So our bowmen are now coming in to try and help out. We are dealing with the enemy generals. So that's something. We do have a few Tomb Guard left. You can see, you know, a lot of dwarves have been killed. In fact, pretty much everything but... if the Ironbreakers weren't here, this battle would be in the bag. But they are. That is the... That's our key problem here. I know we keep coming back to it, but that is definitely the key problem is Ironbreakers. So what do I do about Ironbreakers? Artillery maybe, but that means building the chariot building. I don't think we're going to use chariots, so is that worth it? Alternatively, Ushabti, but again, they don't really have the melee attack. Bow Ushabti? Maybe Bow Ushabti. Just fill them full of bow, you know, big old bows. That'd probably do it. That would probably... maybe that's the key. Maybe that's what we do. I mean... yeah, maybe that. Maybe. Well, at least their general's dying. So Lord has been cursed by Jeff. Yeah, they also have the satchel charges. So we've got the Thane and their general locked down. The last of our Tomb Guards are crumbling away. Look at the kills on these guys. I mean, okay, we are starting to do a little bit of damage to them, but they've just been weathering that. And these guys are bare... yeah, okay, well... you know, we gave it our try. The old Tomb King try, didn't we? Unfortunately, I forgot about the Iron Breakers. Well, that's not ideal. I'd kind of forgotten that Iron Breakers just don't die. They just don't really care for it, do they? They're just not interested. Okay. I just need you. You don't have to do anything fancy, you just have to recruit shit. So, I don't... Well, I've got a unit of Ushabti. They could do damage. They might be the only thing. So, yeah, the Tomb Guard, they are armor piercing, but their melee attack is 25, and as such, they're just not going to be able to hit the Iron Breakers. Which, of course, is going to be, you know, a fairly large problem. So, oops. Guess we'll be recruiting over there then. And, oh yeah, we need some more Necrotect. Serpent, oh, Sepulchral Stalkers, I do quite like. Trustworthy, meh. You know what, actually, that could actually be quite useful. Thinking about it. I mean, it doesn't give us Sepulchral Stalkers, but it does give us relations with everyone. Lich Priest, I'm gonna get... Treacherous, proficient caster, knowledgeable, fleet-footed, tough. Let's get you. And the Tomb Prince is gonna be again trustworthy.
I am my father's son.
Because I think that stacks, and then we can get, you know. If we can, like, send someone over to go and meet the High Elves, we could get a trade agreement with them, get all their resources, and then we can make some cool shit. Alright, let's hope this, because this failed catastrophically. And so, that's a problem.
I will not disgrace my ancestors.
We basically need to recruit ASAP to stop them from... Like, they should take a few turns to heal. But the problem is I've got nothing that can really deal with those. Oops. Nothing that... You know, rest of the dwarves are fine. I've got... But those Iron Breakers, you need something like... Ushabti can probably deal with them. Having said that, their melee attack is not that high, and Iron Breakers just have a lot of melee defense. It's very tough to break through. The best way to kill them is usually shooting them. Or artillery. Because obviously their shields do nothing to artillery. But we did get the ambush. Good! Okay, let's bop you. And then it's just you and your little house. Now, assuming you haven't moved, I don't know if you have, I'm going to send you down here to go and check.
The land of the strengthen our legions. I'll set the slaves to work.
Let's pop you in there. We'll get the Ushabti and you.
Asap smiles on us.
Okay, good job, Khalida. Knocked out that little army. Could you in necro? I could do that, but then you wouldn't be on foot, and I couldn't use you on the walls. So, ooh, reanimate. Reanimate is good. Resurrect is way better.
High Queen Khalida.
Let's go Purple Sun. It's going to give us some AoE, and I think we're going to use Settra to attack in his old mobility scooter there. Oof, that's a nasty army.
Forward.
If I bring Khalida down here and ambush, they might decide to come out and attack, and then I can reinforce. I'm hoping they're not going to go and attack Kofa, because if they do, that'll be annoying. I mean, it won't be the world. It'll just be annoying. But still, it will be annoying. It will vex me. I do not like being vexed. Okay, good. Good. Let's see. See if they want to come out to play. Oh, goody, they did. That makes my life a little bit easier. Okay. Let's kill Thyke Skolson. Take the Wizard Caliph's Palace, and then we can head into the mountains to finish him off. But that is going to have to wait until next time. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.